So yes, here we are, heading in toward Grand Prairie. The Percocet is finally wearing off. I'm starting to feel the pain again, but nothing too serious yet. And boy, I had a really good conversation with my driver, young man around my son's age, sharing some fundamental views about marriage, society, finance, economy, and dispelling a lot of the myths that I know that we have all been steeped in, and lies. And it's good to be able to do that as a service to the future, because young people are our future, and we really need to start telling them the truth. They need to know what happened, because I think there's a lot of young people really asking themselves and others, what happened? What happened? What made the world this way? And so it's a delightful conversation. Smart young man too. It's good. So yeah, here we are, northern Alberta, the oil capital of the whole nation of Canada, pretty much, I would say. It's not uncommon to come against things like that, pump jacks. We have lots of them. And so I didn't even know that there was a service like that available to ride Canadians or Albertans, I guess I would say, to the hospital when they're isolated, as far as I am. But I'm grateful to God for it, and I'm certainly. It's funny, how I was musing over the waste of taxpayers' dollars on some things, but this is not a waste. I'm not going to feel bad about it. I worked hard in my youth, and I invested my money in the contract, the healthcare service, and every civilized nation does have some social safety net. And so I'm a man of conscience, and I can argue with the best of them about this, especially those who are of a biblically minded persuasion with respect to the widowed, the infirm, and the fatherless. Okay, there needs to be a social safety net in order. When there aren't, what happens is that civilization begins to go corrupt, and it deteriorates, and bigger problems result. So, you can call this socialism if you like. I call it humaneness, being humane. I'm afraid to call humanitarianism because they've already made that word dirty too. It's just amazing. Through the process of redefining words, they have brainwashed us. They have treated words like putty. And, this is why we keep getting updated versions of the dictionary. It's so sad when we finally wake up and smell the coffee and realize that 1984 is a reality. It's not a fiction book. It's a reality book. And this is the reality we are born into. Anyway, so I'm honored to be escorted by my own personal private chauffeur here to the hospital, and I think about the least thing I could do to repay his kindness. I know he's being paid. We all have to work for a living, but for his kindness I would just give him some good, I guess you might call it fatherly, grandfatherly advice, and hope one day that he's a father too, and passes on the message that you are a slave, Neo. Yeah, that's really the message, unfortunately. And it's about time we start taking a stand for our freedom, or this is not going to be, oh Canada, the true North, strong and free. This is going to be, oh Canada, the fallacy, weak and enslaved. We don't want that. We want Canada to be free, and we want to be true. And in order to attain to that, we have to start dispelling the myths and the lies. We are being fed by our politicians, our so-called social leaders, juggernauts, pastors, lawyers, doctors, Indian chiefs, etc. We have to put our foot down and say no more lies. No more lies. It's hurting our children. No more lies. It's hurting our nations. And of course we can't leave the banksters out, the biggest financiers of lies that ever lived. We have to get real, take a stand for the true North, not the false North, true North, strong and free, before we all become weak and enslaved. So this is Edward King coming at you live on the way to the hospital. God bless you. I'll keep you